Welcome to a tutorial that tries to explain some of the fundamental principles and concepts behind DOTEbase and how it relates to DOTE. So this can get quite complex because you have to have the right mental model for how DOTE works to be able to use it appropriately. Here you can see our current logo. This may change, and our icon for the tool, which is obviously, you can see this is derived from DOTE. And DOTE is required to make projects which may or may not have transcripts in for DOTEbase to work. So what we're going to look at is how DOTEbase is structured, what it looks for, and then what's this relationship between DOTEbase and DOTE. So some key things first about what DOTEbase is and what it isn't, just to make this absolutely clear. DOTEbase is a tool to support qualitative analysis, not quantitative analysis. So we don't have any real tools yet for any sort of quantitative analysis. We're trying to improve, which is very few tools do, the qualitative experience of doing analysis in research. It's a set of flexible assembled spaces, meaning it does it every time you run DOTEbase. It assembles and checks the spaces. It's not a remote database or something stored in only one place. You can add easily to any of the spaces across your file system. So it's locally distributed media and transcripts on your computer and all of the drives attached to your computer. And it's a tool that supports commenting on clips of media and transcript. So either the media files, which you haven't yet transcribed, you can comment on those, or you can comment on the transcripts, and they can be in different states and different conventions. We support Jefferson and Mondadian, but they could just be some notes. And also they could just be article texts of written articles or newspaper articles, reports as well, though DOTE is really designed for that. And it's a tool that uses data and metadata that is transparent, non-proprietary, meaning everything is stored in plain text on your computer, so nothing is encrypted. You must be aware of that. Your computer should be encrypted, or your drive should be encrypted. That's up to you. We don't. We allow things to be completely transparent. It's using metadata structures that are plain text, non-proprietary, and this is stored locally in the transcripts and the projects that you have put wherever you have on your computer system, on external drives or wherever, and we'll see in a moment how that works. But what DOTEbase isn't, it isn't a tool for quantitative analysis. We're not aiming to support quantitative analysis and statistics. It's not a closed database. As I said, it's transparent and open. It's not in a database, a relational database structure that's impenetrable without the right tools. And it's not a web tool. It's not something that functions on the web at all. It's only on your computer, and it's not a cloud-based tool. Nothing is uploaded anywhere in any form to use DOTEbase. It all remains on your computer. And it's not a miracle that uses AI, artificial intelligence, to do analysis for you. It's not something you can just say, right, analyze this for me, like doing transcription. We don't support those, though. Well, we do support manual automatic transcription software plugins for DOTE, but DOTE itself doesn't do it. So these are, if this is what you want, then DOTEbase isn't for you. So let's look at DOTE and clipping and some of the ideas. We've got 3 slides coming up about just trying to understand DOTE and what it does. So if in DOTE, if you're familiar with DOTE, and here's just a graphic representation, DOTE has active media that it's some event that happened, and you have a continuous set of media recording, and so you've made a project, and you have some transcripts that you've created. It can be more than one in a project. Now those will have, obviously there will be some sort of timeline, and which represents the media as it unfolds. Here you can see it from DOTE. And you will have maybe some transcript, and here we see a standard transcript, Jeffersonian transcript in DOTE. And these you might want to add comments to. And at the moment it isn't really possible to do that in DOTE, so DOTEbase solves that problem. You can create clips of your media. So here are 3 clips. These are your media clips, and you can create 3 clips from your transcript, and any number of clips, an infinite number of clips, and those will all go into your DOTE space. because they are attached locally to this project and transcript and all the transcripts in your project. And if you've made lots of clips, DOTEbase will find those. Now the question is, how does it know where to find these? So those are the transcript clips. So how do we create a DOTE space? Not technically using DOTEbase, but just conceptually. Well, we might have on our hard drive a number of media and transcripts which we created with DOTE. We might have on our mapped network folder, and not the cloud, but a mapped network folder with a drive name, and an external drive that we plugged in. It could be a USB, USB-C, it could be an SSD drive or just an ordinary hard drive. We can store across all of this. We can have multiple external drives. As long as these are DOTE projects and transcripts, we can assemble them into one DOTE space. For example, we could say watch a folder for us and find everything inside that folder and all subfolders. And here in Windows, under my Documents DOTE projects, I might have a ton of DOTE projects that I've made there, of transcripts of all sorts of data, not necessarily the same research project, and I might have them also on this D drive, which is actually an external drive or a network drive, or another hard drive in this case. My network folder could be assigned to V, the drive V, and that's DOTE projects, and I might have another external drive which I've assigned to X, and they have to be kept to the same path name and the same. So if you change this path drive letter, then the watch folder won't work anymore. So you have to be consistent. And there I've stored them under DOTE projects. And these are lots of projects, maybe nothing to do with each other. They're all, say, to do with everyday conversation, social interaction, or they're several different research projects, but I want to include them all together. That makes up my DOTE space. So DOTE space is a set of watch folders. And every time you start DOTE space, it will search through all of these and all subfolders to find every single one it can find. If they're corrupted, of course, it won't find them. If they're offline, then it will know from the cache that they're there, but it will not update the cache with the latest information. So it will warn you that I can see stuff here from the past, but I can't see it right now. I'm going to work with the past, and then you can still open the DOTE space. So you're not punished if you happen to have lost a drive or mislaid it, or somebody's borrowed it, or a drive is offline. And then thinking about watch folders and how you assemble your DOTE spaces. So here we see, here is a DOTE project with some transcripts and media here. Here's another one, totally separate, in another space somewhere, on another drive maybe. And here's a third one somewhere else. Now those we could assign into different DOTE spaces. So DOTE space 1, we could say, I want to watch the folder that this is in. It could be in the root, it could be in a subfolder. That's going to go in the DOTE space, and then there we are. We'll find everything, and including this one and any others, and put them in that DOTE space. We have DOTE space 2, where we have a watch folder that happens to be has in common. It could be a watch folder that's higher up that has in common this one, or it's the same folder because we want to include that in DOTE space 2, and that will then copy into here. These will, of course, will have other watch folders which won't be in common, but you see this DOTE project will be searched and catalogued in both these DOTE spaces. And then DOTE space 3 might take this, a watch folder including this project and maybe some others, and will catalogue them here, but will not be the same location of where this project is and these watch folders. So these are now in the same DOTE space, though it's the same project in one location. So you can make multiple DOTE spaces that have the same watch folders, but maybe extra watch folders which the others don't have. Here you see this is unique to this DOTE space 3, this DOTE project 2. It's not included in these watch folders in other location, and so that's DOTE space 3, totally separate. And then DOTE project 3 is not included in any watch folder, so it's actually not in any DOTE space. Can't be found, it won't be catalogued, and so we only catalogue and check and rescan every time you run DOTE space. This one will never be found unless it's included in one of the watch folders or a subfolder. So hopefully you get the idea there of how this works.